Fire away.
Pass protection issues, it went further backwards, no matter who was in there. What do you think's happening with the ability to keep it?
Not sure what's happening up front. We'll watch the film and see what it is, but obviously we give up 8 sacks, and every drop back or pass situation, it looks like we're in scramble mode, so it's just not good enough when we can't operate on time, and we got to get that fixed.
CJ was sacked 8 times today. Like, how sustainable is the amount of pressure he's been under?
Of course, anytime you get sacked that many times, it's not good enough, right? Don't want our quarterback getting hit. As many hits as we took is not good enough, and we got to make things adjust. We got to adjust. We got to change things moving forward.
Do you think the Wildcat play is supposed to work? And was that something that with Joe, did he have the option to run it as well as to throw it?
Yeah, that play there, Joe takes the ball and he's, simulating a run there and trying to get a throw to CJ. Didn't get the look that we want, didn't execute it the right way, Everybody, trick plays are great when you execute them, right? And then everybody's a genius when you run trick play and it doesn't work, then everybody's looking like why you call the play. So it's you take a chance on those plays. If they work, great. If they don't, hey, not so great.
With the constant amount of pressure that CJ's under, do you think that it's starting to affect him in the pocket? There was times tonight that he missed some open throws.
Yeah, just like anyone, guys, I feel like anytime you're getting pressured that much or you're getting hit, it's going to affect any quarterback, right? That's always the game plan defensively is try to, fluster the quarterback, and that's what they did today.
Do you feel like at that moment on the 10-yard line, calling a Wildcat play, like a trick play, was kind of worth the risk reward because the next play he gets sacked, and then, things kind of teeter from there?
Yeah, I think you can take that play, guys, and make it however you want to. It's one play in the game. If we score on that play, then you guys are saying a great call. So, the play didn't work. We tried to play, it didn't work. That isn't indicative of the game. There are a lot of plays to be made. All right, we give the ball up in the red zone. All right, we missed 2 field goals. We don't tackle well. We didn't do enough good things to win the football game. So it's not just that one play. It's many plays that happened that weren't good enough in the second half.
You held Aaron Rodgers to 32 yards in the first half. What was the difference in the second half? What was the defensive adjustments that didn't work in the second half?
In the first half, we covered really well, right? This game, we knew it would come down to winning our one-on-one opportunities, right? We knew our guys would be singled up on the outside. We had to win those one-on-one matchups. We won them in the first half, came out in the second half, right? We didn't stop the run, and that was the key. That was the focus. That's what we spoke about coming out of the half, and we didn't tackle well. So you don't tackle, right? They could just continue to run the ball, and they were in control there. And when the passes went up in the second half, we didn't win those passes. It was the same matchups we had in the first half. They made plays in the second half, and we didn't.
What was kind of like the thought process? That last drive you guys had, CJ gets the ball to round the Jets 25. You guys still have 2 timeouts, a minute 20 left. What kind of went into trying to still score instead of, possibly kicking a field goal with a chance to kick off and still have those 2 timeouts to utilize?
We're that close, and we're in their territory that close. We want to try to do everything we can to try to score there and then save some time there to try to get an onside kick and then go down and, kick the field goal. So.
What was the most frustrating part for you about this loss?
The frustrating part about it is, to play well in the first half and not come out the second half and not tackle the proper way, not stopping the run, all right? And also when it comes to it's just everything about it, not protecting, getting the quarterback hit, that's just not good football. So the frustrating part about this is, we didn't come out and we didn't execute well enough to win the game. We didn't make plays in the second half to win the game. So that's frustrating, but that's the NFL. Like, if you want to win, your playmakers have to step up and make plays, and that's what we have to see moving forward.
How much does not having Will consistently in the second half kind of affect that defensive shift there?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's out there for me. Like, it's team football, and losing Will definitely hurts. He's one of our best players, but everybody has to step up and make plays.
It seemed like they went to maybe a little bit quicker passing game, some sideways stuff. Is that kind of how you saw it sort of neutralize some of the pressure you guys were bringing in the first half?
No, I don't. It's just, RPOs, they were calling them in the first half as well, so it wasn't a huge adjustment or anything that they did. Like, we got to set the edge and come out and tackle on those. Some of those we didn't set the edge well, and we, kind of missed the tackle. We weren't urgent enough to get down and tackle the guy, so quick passes end up turning into first down. So it all comes back to me, a sense of urgency and tackling.
How did you feel about that?
What they do to slow down Joe in the second half after his big first half?
Yeah, for them up front, I think they disrupted up front. There was a lot of quick disruptions in the interior. So when Joe got the ball, there were a lot of, guys right there to make him kind of check his feet. And, we kind of sputtered there in the second half.
To end on a positive, though, how good did Joe Mixon play tonight?
Joe's been great every game for us. I mean, every game Joe has touched the ball, he's gotten over 100 yards. And, so Joe is going to find it no matter how well it's blocked or how not so well it's blocked. Like, Joe's going to find his yards, finds a way to get in the end zone. Joe's relentless. He has that sense of urgency. We just need everybody else around him to play the same way.
How did you feel about that fourth down, that first play of the fourth quarter, that fourth down call where Stingley gets, illegal conduct? A little questionable. What was just kind of your viewpoint on that play?
You can take the fine for me. I'm not going to go there.
DeMeco, when you know what? Actually, go ahead. I got you.
I got one.
You guys have had some trouble. You guys have had some trouble in the second half. The halftime adjustments. What can you say about the consistent issues in the second half that you guys have had?
The second half is, again, you got to go play the game and you got to make plays, right? It's like not a big adjustment or anything going on. Like, we got to execute in the second half. And, I speak on executing, right? That's protecting, and also defensively is tackling. Like, there's no adjustment to come out and tackle better, right? You got to tackle. If you want to win, you want to stop the run, you got to tackle.
Thanks, Coach.
Who else is coming in?
Titus. Pretty apparent he feels bad that, you know, when you guys are you're kind of running for your life in his term every time. What do you think the issues are up front, and kind of what effect does that have on the passing game?
Yeah, first I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for this opportunity, you know, to play on Thursday night, on Halloween, you know, and you know, I often, you know, it's hard, you know, to just sit here right now and think about what happened because you didn't watch film yet, but of course, you know, it's embarrassing, and you know, to come out here on a primetime game and, you know, get embarrassed like that is never fun, and you know, I believe, you know, we have to be better in a lot of areas. You know, and that starts with me. You know, I think there's plays I got to make, throws I got to make. You know, times I got to sit in the pocket and just trust my guys. You know, so I really point the finger at me and realize, you know, I got to be better as a football player. And, you know, if we want to win, this is not the recipe for it. We got to learn how to dominate and stop learning how to, you know, just go with the flow and play in the fourth quarter. Like, we should be able to, you know, play good in the first half and then roll into the second. I think we got to have a better mindset as a whole.
What do you feel like happened on the Wildcat play when Joe was going to?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, you know, we had that play lined up. We thought it was a good look. And, you know, we got to do a better job of selling the run and, you know, making the DB fall asleep. And, you know, I got to find a way to maybe go just catch it. I thought I got held, or I'm not a receiver, so I don't know. But, you know, I thought they got a couple calls that we didn't get. But at the same time, you know, at the end of the day, man, like, we can go this call, that call. We didn't win the game, and we got embarrassed. We got kicked from point A to point Z. So we got to get a lot of things fixed.
As a young quarterback, do you benefit, do you learn anything from watching the 40-year-old man operate and how he goes about his business?
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's very in command, I can tell. You know, he's a lot of times where, you know, he's getting on the ball fast and he's telling his guys what to run, and, you know, they're running it, and, you know, he's a lot of trust from him and his coordinators and his coaches, and, you know, that's something that I, you know, hope to build one day and be able to, you know, have that opportunity to get as, you know, good as that, not only physically but mentally as well.
CJ, you talk about sitting in the pocket, and which is one of your biggest attributes. But when you're being pressured as much and being ran out of the pocket and being hit so much, how much does that take a toll on you later on in the game?
Yeah, it's not easy. You know, it's like, you know, I don't even know what analogy I can use, but yeah, it's not easy. You know, that's a strong suit I think I have is being able to move minutely in the pocket, you know, having those micro movements, and then, you know, keep my eyes on the field, be able to make plays. And, yeah, man, I know those guys up there are fighting, and, you know, we got to do a better job of just, you know, getting those guys in better opportunities to, you know, to block those guys. You know, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed ultimately. So, yeah, and one thing I can do is just get the ball out faster too. When something's open, I got to be able to hit it. There's times where I'm sitting back there and I'm thinking too much, and, you know, I got to be able to just get it out and get it to number one if one is there, number two if two is there, and get through my progression. So, you know, it's not just on them, it's on me as well.
On the plus side, I mean, you and Tank started to be able to kind of connect a little bit tonight. What was working for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was evident that, you know, he had to step up big time, and he made a lot of big plays for us, and, you know, we got to keep that up. You know, I thought Mesh did a good job, and Rob and Hutch, but we, you know, we got to find a way to, you know, to get those guys more involved. You know, it starts with me, you know, making throws, and, you know, we got to put those guys in position to win. They were winning a lot of routes. It's just, you know, we got to be able to protect too, and there's a ton of things that we can sit here and rabble about, but yeah, a lot of things need to be fixed.
CJ, you said during training camp when everybody was talking about the hype and saying how good you all were and coming into the season, you know, had AFC Championship, Super Bowl last race, but you were saying take it one game at a time because anything can happen. Was tonight one of those times where anything happened and, you know, this is kind of like a wake-up call?
Yeah, I would say that. You know, we've had a couple wake-up calls this year. I would say, you know, we just got to honestly just play football better, execute better, stop pointing the finger, and realize, you know, at the end of the day, like, this is not winning football, and we can't keep squeezing our way by every game. You know, we are a really good football team. We have a lot of really good football players. Once we buy into the systems and what is being, you know, coached, and also we got to be able to have leadership to take over. So, you know, I believe, you know, this isn't the end, but this is definitely a great wake-up call for us to, you know, tighten up the ship. And, you know, this is now playoff football is November and December. So we got to be able to – this is going to be the chunk of our schedule. A lot of great teams we're playing on prime time, and, you know, we got to be able to find ways to win.
Obviously, the game just finished, but from your perspective, just early impression, how do you feel like, I guess, the pass protection could get better? You know, just initial thoughts, how you feel like it could get better just going into next week?
You know, just play better. All of us. I got to do better, getting the ball out. Got to change the pocket, different drops, you know. And there's a ton of things schematically and scheme-wise we can do. And, you know, we did some of those things, but at the end of the day, we got to execute it. You know, we're grown men. We're paid to play this game. And at the end of the day, when you line up against the guy against you, and you got to win your one-on-one, that was one of our keys of victory. And I didn't do that myself. You know, I always try to win my one-on-one, and I got my butt kicked today too. So, you know, this is a good time for us to look in the mirror, and, you know, now we get a couple days off and get our bodies back right, and look ourselves in the mirror and really realize, like, what type of football team do you want to be.
How much could Nico help you all, or is it a little bit bigger than that?
Bigger, you know. Nika's definitely a big chunk of that. You know, of course, Steph as well. So praying for those guys, and you know, but at the same time, like there's things that even if they were out there, maybe you know it wouldn't even help. So there's a ton of things that you know we can work on. But one thing that you know the sun will rise the next day and tomorrow, and we'll be able to you know play a game next week and be blessed doing it. So you know it's not time to hang our head down, feel sorry for ourselves. It's time to answer the call, and you know we got guys in that locker room that I believe in, I trust in, and you know I think you know we're going to be able to be a really good football team. And just you know it doesn't define us, but it definitely you know is a great wake up call. All right, y'all.